My Way is a song popularized by Frank Sinatra. Its lyrics were written by Paul Anka and set to music based on the French song Comme d'habitude composed in 1967 by Claude François and Jacques Revaux. Anka's English lyrics are unrelated to the original French song. Themes: the lyrics of My Way tell the story of a man who, having grown old, reflects on his life as death approaches. He is comfortable with his mortality and takes responsibility for how he dealt with all the challenges of life while maintaining a respectable degree of integrity. Certifications: Origin: Paul Anka heard the original 1967 French pop song, Comme d'habitude performed by Claude François, while on holiday in the south of France. He flew to Paris to negotiate the rights to the song. In a 2007 interview, he said, "I thought it was a bad record, but there was something in it." He acquired publishing rights at no cost except the melodies rights kept by the authors, and, 2 years later, had a dinner in Florida with Frank Sinatra and a couple of the mob guys at which Sinatra said, "I'm quitting the business. I'm sick of it, I'm getting the hell out." Back in New York, Anka rewrote the original French song for Sinatra, subtly altering the melodic structure and changing the lyrics. At 1 o'clock in the morning, I sat down at an old IBM electric typewriter and said, if Frank were writing this, what would he say? And I started, metaphorically, and now the end is near. I read a lot of periodicals, and I noticed everything was my this and my that. We were in the me generation and Frank became the guy for me to use to say that. I used words I would never use, I ate it up and spit it out. But that's the way he talked. I used to be around steam rooms with the Rat Pack guys they liked to talk like mob guys, even though they would have been scared of their own shadows. Anka finished the song at 5 a.m. I called Frank up in Nevada he was at Caesar's Palace and said, "I've got something really special for you." Anka claimed, when my record company caught wind of it, they were very pissed that I didn't keep it for myself. I said, "Hey, I can write it, but I'm not the guy to sing it." It was for Frank, no one else. Despite this, Anka would later record the song in 1969. Anka recorded it 4 other times as well, in 1996, in 1998 in Spanish in 2007 and in 2013. Frank Sinatra recorded his version of the song on December 30, 1968, and it was released in early 1969 on the album of the same name and as a single. It reached number 27 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and number 2 on the Easy Listening chart in the US. In the UK, the single achieved a still unmatched record, becoming the recording with the most weeks inside the top 40, spending 75 weeks from April 1969 to September 1971. It spent a further 49 weeks in the top 75 but never bettered the number 5 slot achieved upon its first chart run. Versions: Dorothy Squire's version, in the midst of Sinatra's multiple runs on the UK singles chart, Welsh singer Dorothy Squires also released a rendition of My Way in summer 1970. Her recording reached number 10 on the UK singles chart and re-entered the chart twice more during that year. Elvis Presley version: Elvis Presley began performing the song in concert during the mid-1970s, in spite of suggestions by Paul Anka, who told him it was not a song that would suit him. Nevertheless, on January 12 and 14, 1973 Presley sang the song during his satellite show Aloha from Hawaii, beamed live and on deferred basis, to 43 countries via Intelsat. On October 3, 1977, several weeks after his death, his live recording of My Way was released as a single. In the US, it reached number 22 on the Billboard Hot 100 Pop Singles chart in late 1977/early 1978, number 6 on the Billboard Adult Contemporary chart, and went gold for its successful sales of over 500,000 copies. The following year the single reached number 2 on the Billboard Country Singles chart but went all the way to number 1 on the rival Cashbox Country Singles chart. In the UK, it reached number 9 on the UK Singles chart. Certifications: Sid Vicious version: Sex Pistols bassist Sid Vicious did a punk rock version of the song. This version, in which a large body of the words were changed and the arrangement was sped up, charted at number 7 in the UK in 1978. The orchestral backing was arranged by Simon Jeffes. Interviewed in 2007, Paul Anka said he had been somewhat destabilized by the Sex Pistols version. "It was kind of curious, but I felt he was sincere about it. Vicious did not know all the lyrics to the song when it was recorded, so he improvised several lyrics." Vicious' reference to a Pratt who wears hats was an in-joke directed towards Vicious' friend and Sex Pistols bandmate John Lydon, who was fond of wearing different kinds of hats he would pick up at rummage sales. An edited version of Vicious' cover is played during the closing credits of the films Goodfellas and Juan of the Dead. A snippet of the song is also heard at the end of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode Lover's Walk, as part of a running joke about Vampire Spike's enjoyment of the Sex Pistols, as well as a reference to a snippet of the Frank Sinatra version that played at the beginning. It is also heard in the television commercial for the 2015 Acura TLX. In her album The End, released in conjunction with the film Nana 2, singer and actress Mika Nakashima performs a cover of Sid Vicious' version of the song with what sounds like an audience singing background vocals. In the film The Great Rock 'n' Roll Swindle, the original footage for the track shows Sid Vicious at the end taking out a handgun and opening fire on the audience, hitting two of the audience members. Sid then sneers, throws the gun away, and flicks the verses at the audience and descends the staircase he walked down to the stage from. For the music video version, director Julian Temple removed the original footage featuring actors playing the audience and the final graphic violence and replaced a few of the audience cutaways with stock footage of a theater audience from the 1950s. Although the censored version was still controversial, it merely showed Sid wildly shooting a gun towards the crowd. All of the footage of the bullet impacts and corpses were removed. The music video was recreated for director Alex Cox's film Sid and Nancy, with the final person Sid shooting girlfriend Nancy Spungen, eerily foreshadowing her alleged murder at Sid's hands. However, in the film, she gets up and the two embrace as the stage lights are turned off. Chris Mann version: in 2012 Anka revised the lyrics of the song for Chris Mann's debut album Roads. In Mann's version the song is presented from the perspective of a young man looking to the future instead of an older man reflecting on his life. Other versions: My Way is thought to be one of the most covered songs ever written. Here is a listing of some of those covers. French pop star Jocelyn recorded it in English prior to her untimely death in 1972. Nina Simone had success with her rearranged version of the song, released on 1971's Here Comes the Sun, which was more upbeat and melodic, and included a syncopated rhythm highlighted by the addition of conga drums. It became a staple of her live concerts. Jason Kuhok, Anglo-French singer, sang a cover version in French for his 2010 album Comme d'Habitude. In 1970 British singer Samantha Jones won the music festival held in Belgian Knockheist with a version of My Way, which subsequently reached number 4 on the Dutch charts. Tom Jones recorded a version of My Way in 1971, when it was released as the B-side to his big hit She's a Lady. Spanish singer Berta N. Osborne used the Spanish-language title as the name of his 2012 album, though on the disc he performed the song in English. The album reached number 10 in Spain. Brooke Benton hit the pop, R&B, and easy listening charts with a recording of the song in 1970. Andy Williams sang this song in his show in 1969. Shirley Bassey recorded the song for her 1970 album Something. She also performed it live on numerous occasions, notably the 1976 Royal Variety performance. In the weeks following Sinatra's death in 1998, Bassey sang it as a tribute to him on her Diamond concert tour. The leading gorilla, Ape, in 1997's George of the Jungle performs the song at the movie's conclusion. The Romanian rock singer Dida Florengan recorded this song in 1977, with Romanian lyrics, accompanied by National Radio Television Pop Orchestra, conducted by Sile Dinicu. Gonzo the Great performed the song in a 1980 episode of The Muppet Show. He sings this song before leaving the show to pursue a movie career in Bombay. Nina Hagen released a version of My Way as a single in 1980. It contained My Way, Albtraum, and No Way. Greta Keller always included the song during her last decade of performing and did a duet with Rod McCoon singing the song at Lincoln Center in New York City and in Vienna. Gypsy Kings, a group which popularized the rumba flamenca, covered the song using the traditional gypsy sound. Their version is entitled A Mile Manra, though most fail to recognize that this is a cover due to the lyrics being sung in Spanish. Luciano Pavarotti sang with Frank Sinatra in the 90th birthday limited collector's edition of the album Duets, which is an unreleased version. 1993, U2 regularly performed a snippet of My Way at the end of their song Ultraviolet during their 1992 Euro 1993 Zoo TV tour. Patti LuPone performs this song as part of her one-woman show Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda. Gary Shaw sings the song switching from tenor to falsetto. One of Argentina's top rock performers, Andrés Calamaro, released My Way in an interesting reggae version in his Las Otras Caras de Alta Sociedad album. Ray Quinn, the runner-up of the third series of the X Factor UK, covered My Way for his album Doing It My Way. Bobby Solo does a recording of the song in Italian called La Mia Strada. Another Italian version, La Mia Via Dark lyrics by Andrea Lovecchio, was recorded by both Fred Gusto in 1975, and Frank Michael in 1990. Popular Ukrainian rock band Okan Alzi performed the song during their symphony-accompanied Renaissance tour. A black metal version of the song has been performed by the French band Ma 1/4 Tilation on the album From the Entrails to the Dirt. Robbie Williams sang My Way in his concert at the Royal Albert Hall on October 10, 2001. This version of the song was recorded and released in the DVD Live at the Albert. The symphonic metal group Northern Kings covered this song in their latest album, Rethroned, released November 19, 2008. The German Eurodisco artist Fancy covered the song on his 2008 album Forever Magic. British satirical show Spitting Image, who frequently ended each episode with a musical number, rounded off a season with a puppet of Margaret Thatcher singing the song word for word. The Pogs' Shane MacGowan recorded a punk cover of the song, reaching number 29 on the UK singles chart. His version was used for a Nike commercial. J-pop artist Chera covered the song on her 1996 album Montage. In their live album, N Wikipedia org 1, 2, 3 Soleils 1, 2, 3 Soleils, Algerian re-artists Rachet Taha, Khaled and Fordal perform Comme d'Habitude in the finale. Vlado Kozlin recorded his version for his CD Spomina Ice. 1991, Japanese pop singer Mika Nakashima covered the song on her 2006 album The End. The song, like the whole of The End album, is credited as Nana starring Mika Nakashima. Patty Austin covered the song on her 2011 album Sound Advice. Jackie Chung performed the song at the 30th Hong Kong Film Awards, on April 17, 2011. Vicente Fernandez's Spanish version titled A Mile Manra. TMZ founder and People's Court legal analyst Harvey Levin covered the song with Anka in 2011. Dutch singer and painter Herman Brood covered the song. It was part of his posthumous greatest hits album My Way. The title song was released on single and became his first #1 single in the Dutch Top 40. University of Massachusetts Minuteman Marching Band traditionally covers this song at every post-game show. They also sing it at non-performance events as a way of ending their meetings. On September 13, 2011, Landau Eugene Murphy, Jr. performed the song during the finals of the 6th season of the NBC reality television series America's Got Talent. The following evening he was crowned the winner, and was awarded the show's $1 million grand prize. Later that year, a studio version of the song appeared on Murphy's debut album, That's Life. R. Kelly covered the song on his Love Letter album tour in 2011. The Japanese rock band Kishidan has covered the song in concerts, and will release a recorded version in December 2011. The Barry Sisters sang My Way in Yiddish on their 1973 album Our Way. The lyrics for Mein Weg were translated by the Yiddish theatre actor Herman Yablokov. Australian alternative rock band Faker covered the song on their 2005 EP The Familiar Enough. In the 2006 animated movie Happy Feet, Robin Williams sang a cover of the song in Spanish. The Romanian singer, showman and entertainer Horia Brânzău recorded this song in 2012, with original lyrics, accompanied by HB Orchestra Big Band, in a video produced by HB Media Entertainment. The Italian singer Mina covered the song on the album Tribute to Frank Sinatra, La Lieva, in 2005. Jacques Ahula sings My Way on the 2008 album Rethrown by the symphonic metal band Northern Kings. Italian singer Andrea Bocelli performed the song in Italian during his 2013 Love in Portofino concert. Volkswagen used the song to introduce their new Volkswagen Golf GTI Mk7 during the Geneva Motor Show in 2013, showcasing how, like the singer and a song, their car is often copied, never equaled. British actor Christopher Lee covered the song on his 2007 album Revelation, also producing a music video for promotion. In 2014, for his 92nd birthday, he released a heavy metal version. Filipina caregiver Rose Fostaines performed the song My Way in her final performance on the singing reality show The X Factor Israel. Soviet singer Muslim Magomedov often sang My Way live as well as in studio. Mexican band a group La Roladora Banda El Lima Cube then covered My Way in English and Spanish in their 2013 album, La Original y sus Boleros de Ama. In culture, the three tenors performed the song on July 22, 1996 during their concert in East Rutherford, New Jersey at New York Giants Stadium. Frank Sinatra himself was in the audience in the first row seated alongside George H. W. Bush and his wife. This was Frank Sinatra's last ever televised appearance before his death in 1998. At the end of the song Sinatra stands up, waves and says, "Bravo." My Way was found to be the song most frequently played at British funeral services. Former German Chancellor Gerhard Schröder requested the song for his final military send-off, prior to the inauguration of Angela Merkel. The chorus of Bon Jovi's It's My Life references the song in the line My heart is like an open highway. Like Frankie said, I did it my way. The pop duo Sparks released a song titled, When Do I Get to Sing My Way on their 1994 album Gratuitous Sax and Senseless Violins, mentioning Sinatra and Sid Vicious by name. Rapper Jay-Z has made reference to the song several times over his career, and on the Blueprint 2 he samples the tune for his own song entitled I Did It My Way. The identification of the song with Sinatra became so strong, and the song so iconic, that the Soviet government of Mikhail Gorbachev jokingly referred to its policy of non-intervention in the internal affairs of other Warsaw Pact countries as the Sinatra Doctrine. David Bowie, then a little-known musician, was originally contacted to write the words for the English version, and started to work on it, only to have the deal revoked by the producer later on before he could submit his material. He wrote Life on Mars. In retaliation, the Sinatra version was used in the soundtrack of the movie The End. The Burt Reynolds character begins a swim into the Pacific Ocean, at which point he realizes he wants to live. The song was spoofed on Sesame Street as Just Throw It My Way, Oscar the Grouch's anti-litter anthem. Oscar laments that he hates to see trash all over the place, figuring that it's going to waste. Instead he urges Muppet boys and girls to throw it his way. In an episode of The Jeffersons, Harry Bentley shows up to the Willis apartment drunk, and starts singing, I Did It My Way. He then comments, you know, they don't write songs like that anymore. To which, Tom Willis replies, they never did. In 1984, outgoing Liberal Prime Minister of Canada, Pierre Trudeau's Liberal Convention tribute video was a modified version of the song known as His Way. My Way is a popular karaoke song around the world, to the point that it has been reported to cause numerous incidents of violence and homicides amongst drunkards in bars in the Philippines, referred in the media as the My Way killings. In the 2003 Filipino TV series, Barstate Kasama Kita, the two main protagonists Ambit and Princess, who are both NBI agents, solved a serial killing case with all the victims sang My Way before they got murdered. Jacques Ahula sings My Way on the 2008 album Rethrown by the symphonic metal band Northern Kings. The song was referenced by Eric Foreman in an episode of that 70s show entitled The Relapse. The song was played in the background on the radio in Mad Men. Peggy made reference that she kept hearing this song, and partway through the song Don asks Peggy to slow dance with him in her office. She leans on him, and he kisses the top of her head. In 2014, the song was used in a Gatorade commercial to honor Derek Jeter known as Made in New York, where Jeter walks through the Bronx neighborhood surrounding Yankee Stadium in order to thank his Yankee fans. According to Jeter, My Way is the song that best sums up his career, and was thus chosen for the commercial. References. External links, full lyrics of this song at Metro Lyrics.